It's Monday and I'm back. I feel back finally. I've been trying to not only make this video, but make two other YouTube videos that I have written scripts for. And the past 4 weeks have been incredibly challenging. I was sick, and then my wife left. She went to London for 8 days. So I was home with my daughter. And towards the end of those 8 days, my daughter got a stomach bug. And then I thought I was in the clear. Next week, I got the stomach bug. I was in bed, couldn't get out of bed for 2 days, which hasn't happened since, I don't know. I don't remember if that's ever happened to me. And then the next week, we took a little mini vacation to this lake house in Alabama. And we had to cut it short and come home early because there were floods. There was flooding in Nashville, and our downstairs got flooded. So we had to come back home and deal with that. So Monday always feels like a day to reset. Monday always feels like a new opportunity, and it is. But today, especially, it feels like a new opportunity. And I'm so excited about today because I feel good, and I'm back in my routine. And I love my routine so much. And I'm going to show you a bit of my routine today. First things first, Perkfitt Pancakes. And if you've never had a Perkfitt pancake, all it is cottage cheese, egg whites, and oats, and a little bit of protein powder. You don't want to add too much because then the batter gets a little weird. But just add the right amount. And that's typically, I don't know, a half scoop of your leading protein powder. And I would say stick with vanilla for this. Trust me, I've tried other flavors. So you blend that up. That gets you that batter. And then throw it over a skillet or a pan and cook them like pancakes. And I'm well versed in pancakes. I grew up on a maple syrup farm in Western New York. So we grew up eating pancakes for dinner. We had an unlimited supply of incredible syrup. I'm not using the syrup that I would normally be using because if you have any idea how many calories are in syrup, then you know why. But my dad would be really sad if he knew the quality of syrup that I'm using for these pancakes today. But it's low calorie syrup. It's like 10 calories for a chunk. All right. So it's not the best tasting syrup. But this has got a chunk of protein and carbs in it for not a ton of calories. And if you're someone who struggles to get in your daily protein target, this is going to help significantly. And just starting the day off in general with a big protein bang is going to be beneficial. So you're not playing catch up all day long. You get to the end of the day and you realize I need 50 more grams of protein. It's going to be hard to get that in. You're not going to want to get that in at the end of the day. And it's going to be hard to get that in and stay under your calorie cap, most likely if you're cutting. So this is a great meal for starting the day off. Perkfitt Pancakes. I'll throw the macros up. And it's a recipe that I found in a very, very old wooden ship, an old book that my stepfather had when I was in high school. So this is ages ago. And I've been eating them ever since. This can work really well for a pre-workout meal. You're getting those carbs and proteins in, especially if you're combining that with that fruit source. This is not my pre-workout meal today. I'm going to work out later in the afternoon. So this is just breakfast. I'm going to eat this and bring you along with me to see what it's like. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you what most of my Monday looks like. Okay, the first thing I do when I get down here before doing any work is to write down all my tasks for the day on this tablet. It's called the Remarkable tablet. My wife got this for me for Christmas. I don't know if I would have bought it for myself, but it's like writing on paper, and it is incredibly satisfying. So I'll write down the tasks for the day, separating the most important tasks into a separate category. And then I will just check them off. And again, it's just like incredibly satisfying to feel like you're writing on paper without having to use an actual notebook. So I'm gonna start with the less time consuming tasks, like making a couple short TikTok videos and some other low effort work. I'm gonna combine a couple of those and put that as the first thing I'm gonna do today. And I set a timer for an hour. And if I'm not done with whatever I'm doing, as far as that goes, by the time that hour is up, then I'll just move on. And if I don't set a timer, I find myself just continuing to work on things that don't really matter as much because I just obsess over the small details. And that's an issue that I'm working through, but the timer's definitely helping me. So I'm gonna knock out some work. When I see you again, it's gonna be close to lunchtime. We're gonna eat some lunch and then head to the gym. Lunchtime. All right, here we go. This is my go-to. If you've seen any videos on this channel before, you've seen this meal. It is salsa over ground turkey over a nice bed of rice, white jasmine rice. And this is incredibly satiating. It works well as a pre-workout meal, but also a post-workout meal. I do like to get a little fruit in addition to the rice carb source. So I have a banana on deck that I'll eat probably half hour after I eat this. Now I'm trying to consume this 90-ish minutes before my training session today. And that's ideal if you can do that. That's what we're gonna do. And this little guy, I wouldn't worry about this little guy. This is my little treat today. I am, however, going to take this meal and eat it outside. Why? Because my dog needs to run around and get some exercise today. So I've been eating my lunch outside, either in my car if it's cold or enjoying the outdoors, eating this, watching him run around, and answering some of the team chat. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, lunch is consumed and the timer has started. Again, I'm shooting for an hour to an hour and a half between my meal consumption and my first working set at the gym. So I'm gonna go back inside, do another hour's worth of work. That's probably gonna be some voiceovers for my team in the Ladder app. And then I'm gonna get ready for the gym, head to the gym, and get a session in. Short little 5-minute drive commute to the gym today. And that's because I came to the gym that's close to my house. Not nearly as nice as the gym that I go to typically, but it's hard to beat 5 minutes. And my day was getting away from me. And whenever that happens, I tend to just book it over here because I'm in Nashville and it doesn't matter really what time it is after noon. You're going to be fighting traffic if you go anywhere that is more than 5 minutes from your house. We live in Nashville, like in South Nashville. So I'd rather just not deal with the stress of traffic. And they have a private PT room here, which is where I film anything that has a black background, basically. If you've seen any of my Instagram or TikTok content, most of that stuff is filmed here. I get here about 20 minutes prior to starting the workout, and that's true any day I go to the gym. And that's for a couple reasons. Number one, so I can drink my pre-workout. Sure, I could drink it before, but I have to send my daily video to the team chat. This is where I do that. Planes flying over. We're really close to the airport. So all day, I'll do my daily video, send it to the team chat. That's where I check in with the team in the Ladder app daily. And then I'll typically do an Instagram or TikTok live here while I'm sipping my pre-workout. I'm not going to do that today because I'm talking to you. But 20 minutes from the time I've consumed this, hopefully that's when I start my first working set. I try to time it up. It's not perfect every time, but I try to get as close as I can. I'm not going to go into the details of the workout, but I am going to show you some clips. All right, time to get in the zone and train. All right, we got the gym session in. Now it's time for a small post-workout meal. That's probably going to be a Fairlife shake or a My Protein shake with some watermelon or pineapple. That's what I've been into recently to get the protein and carbs in post-workout. Not going to be a ton of calories, but just enough to get me what I'm looking for as far as those carbs and proteins go. And then I've got about an hour and a half of work yet to do before I come upstairs and spend some time with the family and have like a real dinner, which I will throw the macros for that dinner and the post-workout meal here either up on the screen or I'll throw them in the description. But I'm ready to just spend some time with the family, and then we're gonna do our evening ritual, which you're not gonna be a part of, and then we'll do it all over again tomorrow.